Hey everyone, and welcome back to this channel that takes on all kinds of issues related to narcissism, narcissistic relationships, and the people who are stuck in those difficult situations. Today, we talk about something that sounds almost counterintuitive, and that is the issue of the narcissist being lonely. Yes, I know the mind boggles. How could someone who thinks they are so superior, so important, so grandiose, be lonely? And more importantly, how could someone who has so many admirers, have so many people around them be lonely? Well, we're gonna break it down today. Before we get started, gentle reminder. If you want to learn more about these topics and stay updated on all my latest content, please subscribe my channel. I'll keep you informed on new videos, but also share additional resources and information that I think you'll find helpful. So let's unpack this idea of the narcissist being lonely. Because here's the thing. One of the saddest things about narcissistic abuse is the way it erodes a person, how it hollows them out, and how it leaves people feeling empty inside. Narcissistic abuse is an incredibly toxic and damaging experience. It's emotionally draining, psychologically painful, and it can leave survivors questioning their worth and sanity. The scars left by narcissistic abuse run deep and can have long-lasting impacts on a survivor's mental health, self-esteem, and overall well-being. Healing from narcissistic abuse is a journey that requires time, self-compassion, and often professional help. Survivors should prioritize their mental health and seek support to process their trauma and rebuild their lives. But today we're talking about the narcissists themselves. Let's go deeper. One of the most puzzling aspects of dealing with a narcissist is trying to understand their motivations and mindsets. They seem driven by a relentless need for admiration and validation, often masking their vulnerabilities behind an impenetrable facade. But beneath this hard exterior lies a profound void, a hollowness that drives their every move. At first glance, it might seem contradictory to picture a narcissist as lonely. After all, they are often surrounded by people who admire and praise them. They have status, power, and material possessions. So why do they remain so desperately lonely? To answer this question, we must delve into the very core of narcissism, exploring how it affects the narcissist's sense of self and their ability to form meaningful connections. Join me as we uncover the complex psychology behind the narcissist's longing for connection and acceptance, even as they push others away. Together, we'll gain insight into the root causes of their insatiable need for validation and the destructive nature of their relationships. Now, while we can never fully empathize with a narcissist due to the harm they inflict, it's crucial to recognize the profound emptiness that drives their actions. By understanding the psychological mechanisms that lead to their loneliness, we can better navigate the challenges of interacting with them and protect ourselves from their manipulative tactics. So let us take a closer look at the hidden world of the narcissist and explore the surprising reasons behind their persistent aloneness. No one. The facade of grandeur. Narcissists live in a world of their own making, one where they are the undisputed heroes. They surround themselves with trophies, accolades, and symbols of success, all meticulously curated to project an image of perfection. But behind closed doors, a different story unfolds. They are haunted by a nagging insecurity, a desperate need to be admired and validated by those around them. This constant craving for external validation stems from a deep-seated fear of exposure. They live in perpetual fear that their carefully constructed facade will crumble, revealing the inadequate and flawed individual underneath. As a result, they become prisoners of their own grandiosity, forever chasing an elusive sense of fulfillment that only genuine connections can provide. No. 2. The empty echo chamber. Narcissists often struggle to form genuine connections with others. Their inability to empathize and their tendency to manipulate and exploit others hinder the development of meaningful relationships. Instead, they tend to surround themselves with people who admire and praise them excessively, creating an echo chamber that reinforces their inflated sense of importance. However, these relationships lack depth and fail to satisfy the narcissist's underlying emotional needs, leaving them perpetually dissatisfied and craving for something more. Ironically, their desperate need for connection drives them further into isolation, making their loneliness even more profound. 3. Friends as props, not partners. Narcissists view friendships and relationships instrumentally, using them as means to acquire status and power rather than opportunities for mutual growth and support. They seek out friends who can provide them with material benefits, social status, or emotional support without demanding anything in return. This transactional approach to relationships ultimately leaves them feeling isolated and devalued, unable to form genuine bonds that could provide true companionship and understanding. 4. The cycle of discard. In the relentless pursuit of external validation, narcissists often sacrifice the depth and quality of their relationships. They enter relationships expecting constant admiration, and are quick to discard partners who fail to meet their unrealistic demands. This constant seeking and discarding leave them emotionally unfulfilled and contribute to a cycle of loneliness that is difficult to escape. The fleeting nature of their relationships prevents them from developing a strong support system that could offer genuine companionship and understanding. No. 5. The mirror's unflattering reflection. Despite their grandiose external image, narcissists struggle with intense self-hatred and insecurity. They despise their perceived flaws and weaknesses and spend their lives attempting to conceal them from others. This constant effort to suppress their negative traits and maintain their desired public image takes a toll on their mental well-being, leading to feelings of emptiness and despair. The dissonance between their false sense of superiority and their negative self-perceptions contribute to a profound and unsettling loneliness. No. 6. A world built on denial. Narcissists exist in a state of perpetual denial, refusing to acknowledge the realities of themselves and their relationships. They live in a self-created fantasy world where they are flawless and envied by others. This denial prevents them from confronting their emotional issues, seeking help, or forming authentic connections. Instead, they become trapped in a cycle of superficial interactions and unfulfilling relationships, which only exacerbates their underlying loneliness. Number 7. The fear of exposure. For narcissists, the fear of exposure is a constant companion. They live in a perpetual state of anxiety, always vigilant against any cracks in their carefully constructed facade. The slightest hint of vulnerability or imperfection can shatter their carefully crafted image in the minds of others, leading to feelings of shame and despair. This constant vigilance and fear of judgment prevent them from forming genuine connections and ultimately contribute to their profound loneliness. No. 8. The self-imposed prison. Even when surrounded by adoring fans, colleagues, or family members, narcissists remain fundamentally alone. They choose to isolate themselves emotionally, unable to form deep connections or offer genuine support to others. Their self-imposed prison of pride and arrogance prevents them from experiencing the warmth and comfort of true companionship, leaving them trapped in a solitary existence of their own making. No. 9. The lack of true intimacy. Narcissists struggle to experience true intimacy in their relationships. Their inability to be vulnerable and their tendency to manipulate others prevent the formation of deep emotional bonds. Instead of sharing their innermost thoughts and feelings, they focus on gaining power and control, which ultimately leaves them emotionally impoverished and disconnected from others. This lack of vulnerability and authenticity cuts them off from the joys of genuine human connection, leaving them perpetually lonely. Number 10. A life without joy. Despite their outward appearances of success and happiness, narcissists often feel a deep sense of emptiness and dissatisfaction with their lives. The superficiality of their relationships, the constant need for validation, and the relentless pursuit of material possessions leave them unfulfilled and yearning for something more. They mistake external markers of success for genuine happiness, leading to a life filled with fleeting pleasures and enduring loneliness. And number 11. Breaking the cycle. While change is possible, it is rare for narcissists to confront their loneliness and seek help. Their entrenched patterns of behavior, coupled with their fear of exposure and lack of insight, make it challenging for them to alter their course. Overcoming the deep-seated issues that drive their loneliness requires a willingness to confront their inner demons and accept their imperfections. Whether they can muster the courage and humility to do so remains uncertain, leaving their future happiness and fulfillment in doubt. And finally, number 12. The gift of understanding. Recognizing the narcissist's profound loneliness can be a valuable gift, not for them, but for us. Understanding that beneath their bravado and grandiosity lies a deeply wounded and disconnected individual can help us approach them with greater clarity and compassion. It allows us to navigate their manipulative tactics more effectively, set healthier boundaries, and protect ourselves from their harmful ways. While we cannot alleviate their loneliness, nor should we have the desire to it, is in understanding their motivations and struggles that we can truly free ourselves from the complexities of narcissistic relationships. It's important to remember that while narcissism exists on a spectrum, and not all narcissists display the same traits or to the same degree, the dynamics of loneliness and its effects are still relevant. The insights gained from exploring these patterns can help us better understand the multifaceted nature of narcissistic relationships and equip us with the knowledge and tools to protect ourselves within them. Thanks again.